Good evening, my friends. I hope this video finds you well. You can tell it's allergy season. I can hardly talk, but we're going to get through it, right? We're going to get through it. Today, we're going to look at Genesis 25. Abraham married another wife, whose name was Keturah. She gave birth to Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. Dedan's descendants were the Aserites, Letushites, and Lemamites. Midian's sons were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. These were all descendants of Abraham through Keturah. Abraham gave everything he owned to his son Isaac, but before he died, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubines and sent them off to land in the east away from Isaac. Abraham lived for 175 years, and he died at a ripe old age, having lived a long and satisfying life. He breathed his last and joined his ancestors in death. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite. This was the field Abraham had purchased from the Hittites and where he had buried Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who settled near Beer-lahai-roi and Negev. So we see Abraham go to rest. The legacy of Abraham is his faith. He was called a friend of God. And that's because he loved God and he trusted God. There are times he slipped up, but he was called a friend of God. This is the account of the family of Ishmael, the son of Abraham through Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian servant. Here's a list by their names and clans of Ishmael's descendants. The oldest was Nebaioth, followed by Kedar, Abdeel, Mibsam, Nishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jeter, Nephish, and Kedemah. These 12 sons of Ishmael became the founders of the 12 tribes named after them, listed according to the places they settled in camp. Ishmael lived for 137 years, then he breathed in his last and joined his ancestors in death. Ishmael's descendants occupied the region from Havilah to Shur, which is east of Egypt in the direction of Ashur. There they lived in open hostility towards all their relatives. And to this day, the group that we know as the Ishmaelites, Ishmael's descendants, are at war with Isaac's descendants. We see the two fighting. The Jews and the Persians. We still see that argument. Palestine is fought over. And that's why. This is the account of the family of Isaac, the son of Abraham. When Isaac was 40 years old, he married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean from Padan, and the sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was unable to have children. The Lord answered Isaac's prayer, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins. But the two children struggled with each other in her womb, so she went to ask the Lord about it, and says, "Why is this happening to me?" she asked. And the Lord said, The sons in your womb will become two nations. From the very beginning, the two nations will be rivals. One nation will be stronger than the other, and your older son will serve your younger son. And when this time came to give birth, Rebekah discovered that she had indeed had twins. The first one was very red at birth and covered with thick hair like a fur coat, so they named him Esau. Then the other twin was born with his hand grasping Esau's heel, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 6 years old when the twins were born. Okay, so Isaac and Rebekah had the same problems as Isaac's parents, Abraham and Sarah. They have problems with infertility. Let's look at this. Okay, first of all, from what I've seen, Isaac was 20, and when he was 40, he married Rebekah. Okay, so he's 40 years old. He gets married, and they've been trying to get pregnant. Took them 20 years. Went to the Lord to get there, and then they have these twins. And I don't want to even act like I know what it's like to have a pair of twins in your body fighting each other. But guess what? They were. And they were as different as could be. Esau is known as rough. Jacob, and that's the term, definition of Esau is rough. And Jacob is grabbing the heel. That's the two terms. But let's further look at how far different they are. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought him, but Rebekah loved Jacob. All right? So you see the favoritism start. You see the differences, one at home and one at not. One day when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home with the wilderness, exhausted, hungry. Esau said to Jacob, "I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew." This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. "All right, but trade me your rights as the firstborn son." "Look, I'm dying of starvation," said Esau. "What good is my birthright to me now?" But Jacob said, "First you must swear that your birthright is mine." So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn. So we see in this story, there is competitiveness, there is resentment towards each other, and Jacob, Esau comes in and says, "Hey, I'm hungry, feed me," and Jacob's like, "I want your birthright." Now, I have fought with my brothers and sisters over food. "Hey, give me a piece of that." We never birthright or anything. Birthright in the Jewish tradition is everything. We just read where Abraham died, and Abraham put Isaac as the one that got the birthright, that got everything. He gave stuff to everyone else, but he gave Isaac all of his property. And that's what's going on here. Esau traded his birthright for a pot of lentils. Think about that for a minute. He had such little regard, he showed contempt for it as the firstborn. This is going to set up for later things down the road. Shall we pray? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all that you are. Thank you for your word. Thank you for the lessons we learned from your word. Thank you for all that you've given us. In your most awesome and heavenly Son's name, Jesus. Amen. All right. Thank you for watching us tonight and participating. You all have a great night. God bless.